Hey there, Virgo. Thanks for joining me. Wow. And so the first card out's the sun. So that's an incredibly strong omen, positive omen in the work position for this month. It's um, it would be a situation where you're just really feeling valued and you're seeing things really clearly. Everyone has the same end goal in mind. Things are really organized and moving forward toward the same goal. And so it just is feeling very emotionally supportive, and everyone's fired up and enthusiastic and working towards that same final goal. Such a beautiful card. And then the Ace of Pentacles, interesting. So I just kind of am getting this feeling for some people. Obviously, this is a general reading for thousands of people. It won't apply to everyone, but I do feel like maybe someone's going to be leaving that's going to open up a new position for you. Um, and there may be a job offer or a promotion or a new position maybe opening up that they think you're perfect for, something like that. So I just see opportunity. The Sun card, the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, this Ace of Pentacles is extremely fortuitous in the work category. So I do think, someone's going to leave, or, I mean, they could get fired out. I don't know the situation around which this could happen, or there could just be a new position created, or you could just get an offer from a different, maybe you're looking for a job and it's something that really fits. It really kind of warms your soul. It feels right. Oh, yeah, and the Fool. So definitely newness, definitely a new position. I feel like it is going to be something different than what you were doing because it's going to require a bit of a leap of faith. So it could be if you've been working in the same job for 10 years and you have all sorts of certifications and you're really specialized to the point where you feel like it would be difficult to sort of change careers, but maybe on some level it's not quite what, feeding your soul. There's this new opportunity that really fires you up that is presented to you. You happen to see this job posting or someone tells you about it, or and it's something that sort of really piques your interest for some reason, even if it's not something you really were thinking of. And this opportunity is going to be presented, but it's going to require a leap of faith. It's going to require you to go for it. It may feel a little out of your comfort zone. But with these beautiful cards on the table, the tarot is saying that this is an opportunity that you want to seriously consider. And it's going to bring you on just a new journey, a new part of your path in life that I think, is overall going to benefit you and your family. That's interesting. So maybe it will have something to do with families. I mean, it could have to do with banking, even or help people save for their family. It could be working with families. It could be working with the home, spiritual work. Trying to think of anything, even working, gardening, all sorts of things that the Pentacles suit has to do with. But I think it's something that's going to feed your soul more than what you may currently be doing, or you're going to find a way to do your job in a way that is more satisfying to you. Okay, so on to romance. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck for relationships, the Seven of Swords. So this card points to a time when you feel like things just aren't quite on the up and up. Like maybe someone is being deceitful, or there's a sense of someone taking something in this card. It often is depicted by a thief. So maybe you feel like someone's taking more in a relationship than they should be, and that um, being at the bottom of the deck, that's sort of something nagging at you. She's sort of holding on here so she's not completely swept away in this force. It could be that you meet someone that you're really into and you feel like you're losing yourself in them, and that you're trying to, she's hanging onto this tree, like not to get completely swept away. So, is there a red flag that you don't, that is making you cling on so you don't get swept away? Or is there a mental block where you're afraid to get swept away? So let's move on to the other cards. Okay, the next card is the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is usually, in a very sort of cut and dry way to read it, is usually will come up if you've been in a relationship where that person breaks up with you. This could happen this month, but it could also be something that happened a while ago. It is the first card, so maybe you're coming into this, and it even again, it could be quite some time ago. And I always think this card is interesting in this deck because it has a little bit of a different feel to it than the traditional Rider-Waite. I mean, she's sort of like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm blowing out these candles. I'm sort of, green, and this green candle is the heart chakra, right? I may be wrong. And she's just sort of like, whew, I'm done with this. I'm blowing them away to the wind. She does have her two candles behind her, but she is focused on these ones that have blown out. So she's still sort of in that state of mind where she's looking at what she's lost. And so you may be coming into the month with a sort of still in mourning over a past hurt. And it may be because, you were wronged. Someone was taking from you. And so the next card is the Four of Swords. So this, again, it's an interesting interpretation in this deck because it's almost like she's laying something to rest. So I see this very positive. I see that for some of you, have in the past gone through a situation where you felt like you gave too much. And then maybe they even were like not treating you well and then ended up dumping you. And you're like, what the hell? I gave and gave and gave. And then they still, it wasn't enough. But, remember that the issue then was most likely with that person. Or if you give too much and don't have boundaries, people don't always respect you. It's a very tricky balance. So don't think I know how to do it, but just ponder that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm single, so. But I sort of see this Four of Wands. It's a time of rest and recuperation. I call it the Give Yourself a Break card. So if you've really been going over and over in your mind and been down in the dumps, allow that time to grieve. It's a process. And you need to go through it to get through it. There's no shortcut. But there is going to be a time where you need to sort of bury the past so that you can move on. And sometimes, I talk about this quite a bit, but you literally can do sort of write things down or maybe take some pictures or memories or whatever and burn them or bury them in the backyard and do something tangible to really represent letting go of a past situation and writing down things you feel guilty about. And I'm going to let that go. I'm a human. I'm going to let that go. And I'm going to remember the wisdom. No situation is a waste of how do I want to say it? If you've gained wisdom from a situation, then, it wasn't, not all was lost. It wasn't for naught. Interesting. And we have the Tower. So the Tower card is, I think it points back to that Five of Cups. There was, for some of you, a sudden event that is really going to shake up your relationship sector. The Tower says it's something that this relationship was not based on trust and mutual support. It was on a shaky foundation. It was not a stable relationship. It wasn't good for you, and it wasn't going to last. But for some reason, you were unable to extricate yourself from it by yourself. So this would come in and do it for you. So either that person, you've been putting up with their crap for years, and then they all of a sudden dump you, or you find out they are seeing someone, or they just sort of disappear even though they're physically there, just to the point where you're like, this is ridiculous. I hate to give too many examples because it may be just a feeling. Or they may be like, I got a new job and I'm moving and I don't want you to move with me. Or they may just move out one day, or, something sort of shocking, or you may just come to this realization, have this aha moment that this isn't working. Maybe you catch them even in a small lie, but for whatever reason, it's like everything sort of all of a sudden click, 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 click. It could be just the straw that breaks a camel's back, not some huge catastrophic event. But the result is everything comes crumbling down, because all of a sudden it's just that last thing that makes you go, this is not right and this is not okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.